At ease, Guardians. Welcome to Tales of the Frontier. As always, I will be using a system for determining the certainty of a theory. The system is in short as follows and is detailed in the description below. It ranges from speculation, to possible, to probable, to likely, and to confirmed. My name is Captain Kex, and this is Drystan Core, Captain of the First Fleet. Hard to starboard! Stand by! Weapons! Helm! Get us out of here! Captain Drystan Core, First Fleet. Engines dead. Do we still have an Earth signal? Tell them we were wrong. Captain Drystan Core, First Fleet. Dramatic words, right? These recordings or whispers contained in the kitten of this weapon are the last words of Captain Drystan Core. Who was he? And what was the First Fleet? Let's discuss. Little is known about Captain Drystan, except these quotes. But they do tell a story of a battle gone bad, a mission that for whatever reason did not end the way it was supposed to. Now the First Fleet only has one other mention. It's the Spirit of Saturn Titan mark. It reads, a ceremonial badge worn by Titans in memory of the First Fleet. These ceremonial marks are worn to honor battles both of the ancient pasts, pre-collapse, but also battles after the collapse. So these events could have taken place at both these time intervals. The mark itself, the design, does not give us anything more to go on. Let's go back to the adept version of Anguish of Drystan that we read in the beginning. Still have Earth signal? That does make it probable that the First Fleet was from Earth, supported by Spirit of Saturn mark. Drystan Core also sounds like a human name, so in the interest of building a theory, let's assume these points and move on. Hard to starboard, stand by, weapons, helm, get us out of here. So let's add this and the name Spirit of Saturn into the mix. Both these imply that the First Fleet met something hostile out by Saturn. Whatever it was crippled that engine and forced the captain to send "we were wrong" before meeting his end. Now, the raid weapons from King's Fall all seem to have dying quotes from different species. So again, let's assume that this is the case here. Captain Drystan met his end by the hand of Oryx, or by people close to Oryx, or hive close to Oryx. The Spirit of Saturn was present during the beta, making this an item pre-Taken King. This means that the First Fleet did not meet its end during the attack of Oryx, but before. So when? We do not have any record of Oryx being in our system prior to this, or out by Saturn before the events of the Taken King. This is very mysterious, isn't it? The First Fleet, likely pre-Oryx arriving, got ambushed by something related to Oryx out by Saturn, before the Taken King ever arrived in our system. And what was their intent? Why were they wrong? Perhaps we will never know. Now, to speculate, perhaps Oryx have been in our system before. We are not aware of many fleets that exist right now, except that orbits vast ship fleet, so I speculate that this fleet, the First Fleet, is pre-collapse. Golden Age even. When the Warminds detected the unknown entity moving fast into our system, it makes sense to me that whatever fleet of interstellar ships Earth had at the time would fly out to the threat. I speculate then that this First Fleet flew out to Saturn only to be met by the encroaching darkness. And if we look at the Books of Sorrow, the Hive and Oryx have been known to be present when the darkness consumes a world. Would they not be present when the darkness finally catches up to the system where the Traveler is? I would say yes. And having seen what Oryx did to the Awoken Fleet, I would speculate that the First Fleet never stood a chance. So Captain Drystan Core led the First Fleet out to Saturn, where he faced a threat greater than he had never expected. He tried to turn the fleet around, but his engines were crippled, and in his dying moment, he warned Earth. So when you wear the Spirit of Saturn mark, or wield the mighty Anguish of Drystan, remember Drystan Core, Captain of the First Fleet. Wherever horrors they met consumed almost everything before the Traveler stopped it, and know that this is what we will fight in the end, when the Traveler no longer can. I hope you have enjoyed this episode. Please show some support and spread the word on my channel if you want to continue making this kind of content. I'm sure you will find good ways to do that. Dismissed, Guardians.